obviously got to start with Space Jam. Uh, this movie is a travesty. In all,
I'm here for
look,
it. Let me hear it.
I'm gonna bring my mic here closer so you can hear the anger in my voice. This movie is a travesty. All right, it shouldn't have happened. This is a problem. This movie shouldn't exist. There should be a petition online to remove this from HBO Max. It's so bad. And you know what? Like when everybody talked, and people have been talking about this damn movie for like 15 years. Second LeBron the King came on the scene, everyone's like, all right, we got to get a Space Jam 2 with the King. Like, come on. Like the window is obviously passed because you should have had one with Kobe and then
Then
LeBron if you
LeBron,
really wanted to
yeah.
do it that way, right? So,
Yep.
anyways, this movie is terrible in almost every aspect. All right, let me just start first with LeBron James. He's not a good actor. I don't expect Michael Jordan wasn't great in the first one. I don't expect a whole lot of him out of him, but it was laughably bad. Like like if I could have done just as good as he did. I have no acting ability. Like I'm an accountant, right? I don't have any real acting personality, I would say, but LeBron James, I mean, it is bad. It was bad even for Space Jam. And Michael Jordan, if you compare the two, Michael Jordan didn't do great either, but it was just it's not as good. Okay. But that's not the bad part of the movie, okay? I can live with the bad acting
The
because
bad
I don't
acting.
blame LeBron James for this movie. That's the biggest credit I can give to the whole thing is that like LeBron James is not the worst part of this movie. And LeBron James, I don't like him. I don't like him as a player or a human. Well, there's a lot of negative things I don't like about LeBron James. I guess not as a human, I shouldn't say that, but as a player on the court, I cannot stand this guy. Um, problem with the movie is that the whole thing is basically an advertisement for HBO Max. That's what the whole movie's about. That's all it is. So like, and obviously we're big fans of Jeremy Jahns. He mentions this in his review, and like he doesn't want to spoil anything, but I'm gonna spoil the shit out of it because I don't give a shit. This movie is terrible. They have the big game at the end, and the whole game, like they don't have anybody to go in the crowd. So the only way to get people in the crowd is to bring all the WB characters into it, and they don't bring any of the good characters in it either. They bring shitty characters. They bring like the Penguin. They bring the Mask. Like like the Green Mask. What's
From
his
Jim
face?
Carrey?
Jim Carrey. They
Oh
bring
my
it.
god,
It's not
he's in
Jim
there?
Carrey though. But yeah, but it's not Jim Carrey either. It's like it doesn't look anything like the Mask, but it's the Mask. It's a
Yeah.
yellow suit, hat, and a green face.
Yeah.
Like that's it's the Mask, but it's not actually the Mask. You have the Penguin, but it's not Danny DeVito. It's some other guy in a penguin suit. There's so many things that piss me off. They throw Iron Giant in here, and it's just like
Nobody will know that reference if they were like in our
nobody.
age. Yeah.
Yeah, like the way it's used in Ready Player One is one thing. It's almost like they try to pull a Ready Player One, and it
It
bombs,
just
man. I'm
failed it.
telling you, it'll piss you off so much. Okay, big problem I have here with another thing. This is totally off, and I don't hear a lot of people talking about this, but this is big stuff here. Who's the other bunny? You have Bugs Bunny and you
Lola.
have Lola.
Yeah,
Yeah. All
Lola.
right. When I was a kid, Lola was hot. All right.
They
Lola was
nerfed her.
always hot.
They
Yeah.
nerfed her.
She's terrible in this movie. It's
Make
like she's been
Lola
eating
make
Hostess
Lola great
Twinkies.
again, man. Yeah. I remember
They ruined they ruined my childhood with that. When
yeah,
that happens, like there's that one point where they like digitize them from like the old cartoon to like
the 3D.
the 3D or whatever, and that's where it's like
They made it
you've now
worse.
ruined. Oh my God, you have like ruined my childhood. Like the amount of like perverted fantasies that have been happened over Lola Bunny, like
This just
those are all gone now. You've ruined them all. Thank you,
debonered.
thank you. What else is really terrible about it? And I don't know if it's his sons that actually are playing
Nah, they're
in the
actors.
movie. They're terrible in this movie as well. They're worse actors than. I wish they would have got like Lil Bow Wow from like Mike,
Something like that, just to,
like anything,
act.
anything. And then on top of that, so I can absolve all the sins of acting for the no-name sons of LeBron James himself. The one thing I can't shy away from is Don Cheadle's acting in this movie. Don Cheadle is a great actor. I
He
mean, we just
is.
got done talking about all these Marvel movies and how awesome he is. It's gonna be great in Armor Wars. He is horrendous in this movie. Like
Oh
his
boy.
his scenes, every scene of him is laughable. Like what I said about LeBron, where you could throw me into that scene and I could act as well. I could do the exact same thing as Don Cheadle in this, and it would be as believable. The whole story itself, like, God, the whole story itself is just not as good as the original either. And it's hard to compare the two. Like, I'm trying to shy away from comparing the two, but it's impossible not to. Okay, so the original one, you have the Monster Mountain, and they've got the slaves, and they got to play a basketball game to like
Yeah.
free the slaves or whatever. This movie is just basically LeBron James. This is how you know how I said it was like a big ad for HBO Max, all the WB product properties, Warner Brothers properties. So DC, because like Penguin shows up. The whole thing, the whole premise behind this movie is that an AI, an artificial intelligence, played by Don Cheadle, works for Warner Bros. So LeBron James is getting pitched like this idea for a video. I think it's for like a video game or something by the AI at Warner Bros. So like the setup is, all right, we're gonna go to Warner Bros. Studio to get pitched this idea from the AI. And LeBron James looks at watches the pitch, basically Shark Tanks it and doesn't go with it and says it's a terrible idea. The AI gets frustrated and basically kidnaps him and brings him into the computer with his son.
Wow.
And the only reason why the only reason why they play basketball in the game is because his son builds video games. Oh, what a coincidence. His son plays builds video games, and he happens to build a basketball video game called Dom Ball.
Oh my God. Dom Ball.
The thing, this movie, dude, it is like, God. LeBron James he's just not likable. Nobody's likable in this movie.
Man, they can't even. It's terrible. Is they couldn't bring Bill Murray
I even like
in.
Bugs Bunny in this movie. They made Bugs Bunny unlikable.
Really? They made even
He's
Bugs
like
Bunny unlikable, huh?
He's like depressing in this movie.
Wow. What about Daffy? Is he still the same?
He's okay. Yeah, he's
Okay.
alright.
I was gonna say
He doesn't play, but I don't think he plays. He just coaches the team.
he coaches.
Pretty
them?
sure he does. I'm pretty sure he doesn't play. He just coaches. He's in like a.
I know he's in
coach's outfit
I know
the
he's
whole
in a suit the entire time. So
game. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he has a suit the whole time. He's just coaching the team.
that's awesome.
There is one awesome scene, and I'll just spoil it because it doesn't matter. There's one point at half point where it's just like the original movie where they're getting their butts kicked and they got to come back at halftime to win the game. And Daffy Duck comes in. He's like, "I found him. I found Michael Jordan." And it's like this big moment where they're all looking through the tunnel, like to the locker room, and there's all this smoke. And out of the tunnel comes Michael B. Jordan eating popcorn. He's like, "Hey guys," he's like, "The Duck just brought me back here," or something like that. And it's
Wow.
like Michael B. Jordan and not Michael Jordan. That was like the high point.
And we heard rumors that Michael Jordan would be in this movie, and it turned out to be the other Michael B. Jordan. Yeah, that's awesome.
So
That's fantastic.
I've basically spoiled the movie for you, but it's
Like
just not a good movie.
anyone's gonna watch it. I'm not gonna watch it.
It's worth a watch, and then just putting it out of your head. I gave this movie a 4 out of 10.
4 out of 10. Huh.
Yeah.
Even
4 out
with,
of
like,
10.
I'm kind of surprised that Bugs Bunny was like emo in that whole movie. That's kind of weird. Usually, like Bugs Bunny I remember, he was always a troll, like most of the time. But he was always a smartass too. Huh. I think like even like their voice. I guess like even like the voice change actors too. Like I know, like the '90s one. That's the one I remember. Like this one, it's like I don't know. It's a little not Bugs Bunny, if that makes sense, because like I don't know, there's something about it that's like off, that's not Bugs Bunny in my head.
I didn't realize that at all, but yeah, I can't say it's a disappointment because it's what I expected.
Yeah, it's an easy cash grab. And that's what you said too, they went to Warner Brothers to pitch an idea.
They literally go to Warner Brothers
And
studio, then
Warner
they bring all the
Brothers-
big Warner Brother properties. It's just
yeah, it's
and if you
more-
look, the Gremlins show up, like the Gremlins from the old movies.
like who's gonna remember that?
Like not anybody watching Space Jam. Like my kids looked at it like, "Who is that?" I go, "Those are the Gremlins. You don't know who the Gremlins are?
Who's
That
the
you know from the
Gremlins are?
'80s?
Yeah.
Like, those dumb movies. I think the first Gremlins movie came out like '87 or something like that.
Yeah, like 86 or something like
Yeah,
that.
like those movies are old as hell.
That's what I
Those are
heard.
40-year-old
That's what I
movies.
knew about this movie. I know Jeremy Johns even mentioned it too. There's like so many references. You're just kind of like overload. You're kind of like, okay, I get it, I get it. Like I like an Easter egg here and there, but like there's a point where you need like, all right, like it's overloading. You need to quit it, type of thing. I heard that was
Yeah.
like a lot of like movie references.
Yeah, and I think people are comparing this to Ready Player One because Ready Player One had it, but I feel like the
They
reason
feel
they
like they
were
had a
there,
balance and all that stuff
there
too.
was a reason for them to be there.
Yeah,
Like the Ready Player, like they were literally calling all of them because it's a video game to use those characters to defeat the other side. It wasn't like, oh, we just need faces in the crowd and we could just throw a bunch of big names. It was just,
yeah.
and
There
then
was no
Kenny,
purpose.
and then Kenny from, it's just so.
Oh, Kenny from South Park was
No,
there.
no, no, Kenny from South Park, Kenny from like NBA, like TNT, or is it Ernie? I can never remember this guy's name. It might have been Ernie or Kenny. I can't remember which one's which, but the guy, the white dude, the white bald dude from like TNT was back
Oh,
in
those
Charles.
guys on
He
those
showed
panels.
just him shows up
Oh my
because
god.
the other ones would refuse. I think they refused to be in this farce of a movie. So
Yikes.
that's all I got to say about it. I'm done with it.
All right.